Dear students, welcome you all to the session 3, the chapter India Physiography. In the previous classes, we have discussed some of the important physiographic divisions. Firstly, the northern mountains, and also we have discussed the northern Great Plains and the peninsular plateau. Today, in this class, we are going to discuss the coastal plains and islands. Before I begin the features of these coastal plains and islands, I would like to recall some of the important things which we have discussed in the previous classes. So, which is the highest mountain peak in India? Very good. Highest mountain peak in India is K2 or Godwin Austen. Then which is the highest mountain peak in the world? The highest mountain peak in the world is Mount Everest. It is at about 8,848 meters. And can you name some of the importance or uses of the northern mountains? There are so many uses. Firstly, it protects us from the foreign invasions. The second, very good, it protects us from the cold wind. Yes, it is a storehouse of water, storehouse of minerals, and so many rivers take birth in that. It is useful for terrace cultivation. Yes, these are all the some important uses of the Himalayan mountains. Then where the northern plain is located? Good, northern plain is located between Himalayan mountains and also the Deccan Plateau. It is the largest alluvial tract in the world. It is mainly formed by depositional work of the three important river systems. Which are those rivers? Three important rivers in the northern plains. Very good. River Sutlej, River Ganga, and River Brahmaputra. And also we discussed the peninsular plateau. The peninsular plateau, that is Vindhya Satpur range, Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, and different Deccan Plateau, and some of the rivers. Can you name some of the important rivers in the southern part of India? Very good. River Narmada, River Tapi, River Mahanadi, River Godavari, River Krishna, Tunga, Bhadra. Very good. These are all the things we have already discussed. Now let us discuss the fourth important physiographic divisions of India, that is the coastal plains and islands. So look at the map. The coastal plain, you know that in the first chapter we have discussed, India has got two frontiers, land frontier and water frontier. The water frontier consists, it is about 6,100 kilometers. The water from here to here, it is 6,100 kilometers, including this Andaman Nicobar and also Lakshadweep Islands, it is 7,516.5 kilometers. India has got long indented coastline of about 7,516.5 kilometers. So, if you look at the map, you can easily understand this area, the coastal plain. So, in this, the coastal plains, the plateau of peninsular India is spring by coastal plains of the east coastal plain and also west coastal plain, both the sides. The plateau, Deccan Plateau, the Deccan Plateau, the largest physiographic division of India, is about 16 lakh square kilometers. Himalayan mountain ranges 5 lakhs square kilometer, northern plain 7 lakh square kilometers. Deccan Plateau is largest physical divisions of India, 16 lakh square kilometers. So, it is the plateau of peninsular is spring by coastal plains on either sides. Towards the west of that is called west coastal plain, towards the east of that peninsular plateau is called eastern coastal plain. So, it extends from Run of Kutch, the Run of Kutch in the west to the delta of Ganga in the east, from Run of Kutch in the west and Ganga delta in the east. So, from here it starts and it ends in that eastern side, that is, it extends from Run of Kutch in the west to the delta of Ganga in the east. This is the part. So, the coastal plain can be divided into two parts. The coastal plain, which extends from the Run of Kutch in the west to the Ganga delta in the east, the 6,100 kilometers, and it is divided into two parts, that is west coastal plain and second one is east coastal plain. So, Deccan Plateau is spring by coastal plain on either sides. The western side it is called west coastal plain, eastern side it is called east coastal plain. So, in general the coastal plain is divided into two divisions, namely western coastal plain and second one is eastern coastal plain. So, now the western coastal plain towards the west of the Deccan Plateau, it starts from the Run of Kutch and also located between, it is located between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. The west coastal plain or western coastal plain is located between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, and it extends from Run of Kutch in the north up to Kanyakumari in the western edge of our country, this west coastal plain. In the western part, in that western part, in north it starts from Run of Kutch to Kanyakumari. It is between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, starts from Run of Kutch to Kanyakumari, and it is a narrow, steep and rocky, narrow it is and very steep and rocky. You know that corals and other things there in the seashore, you can easily understand. The coastal plain divided into two parts, west coastal plain, east coastal plain. In that we are talking about west coastal plain. West coastal plain lies between Western Ghats and also Arabian Sea, start from Run of Kutch to Kanyakumari. This western coastal plain, which is from Run of Kutch to Kanyakumari, is being divided into three parts. The first one is the Konkan coast. The first one is Konkan coast, which lies to the south of Gujarat plain and extends from Daman to Goa. From Gujarat to Daman to Goa. That part is called or known as Konkan coast. And second one is the Kannada coast or Karnataka coast. Kannada coast or Karnataka coast, which extends from Goa to Mangalore. From Goa to Mangalore is called Kannada coast or Karnataka coast. And first one is Konkan coast. It is from Gujarat to Daman to Goa. And from Goa to Mangalore, Kannada coast or Karnataka coast. And from third one is the Malabar coast from Mangalore to Kanyakumari. So these are the three divisions. If you come from south, from Kanyakumari to Mangalore, it is called Malabar coast. From Mangalore to Goa, it is called Karnataka coast or Kannada coast. From Goa to Gujarat, it is called the Konkan coast. So from northern side, Konkan coast, Karnataka coast and Malabar coast. Here Kerala region is Malabar coast, Karnataka region is Karnataka coast or Kannada coast, and Maharashtra or Mumbai region and also Gujarat region is Konkan coast. So these are the three divisions of the western coastal plains. Western coastal plain divided into three divisions, namely Konkan coast, Karnataka coast and Malabar coast. So you can easily understand by looking at this map. So this is Malabar coast, Kannada coast or Karnataka coast and Konkan coast. So these are the three divisions of the western coastal plain. So now the eastern coastal plain. So western coastal plain is located between Western Ghats to Arabian Sea. Now eastern coastal plain, it extends from north of river Subarnarekha to Kanyakumari. Western coastal plain from Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. Eastern coastal plain from Subarnarekha, river Subarnarekha to Kanyakumari. And it lies between the Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal. Western coastal plain lies between Western Ghats to between Arabian Sea. Eastern coastal plain between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal. That is called eastern coastal plain. So it is broader than the western coastal plain. West coastal plain is narrow and steep and rocky. The western coastal plain is narrow, steep and rocky and lies between west coastal plain lies between Western Ghats and Arabian Sea and starts from Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. Eastern coastal plain starts from Subarnarekha to Kanyakumari. From river Subarnarekha to Kanyakumari. And lies between eastern coastal plain lies between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal. And this is broader. The western coastal plain is narrow, steep and rocky, but eastern coastal plain is broader than the western coastal plain. Clear? So many rivers of South India, they flow across the plain and they have formed deltas, the triangular shape of land. Delta, the rivers before reaching into the ocean, the mouth of the river, it is called the mouth of the river, where the river joins to the ocean. There they form the deltas because of the plateau region. They form the deltas. So, many deltas are formed because of this in this eastern coastal plain. So, examples Mahanadi delta, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri deltas. So many rivers flow through this plain and they form deltas. Example Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. So traditionally the eastern coastal plain is divided into two parts. Western coastal plain divided into three parts. Which are the three parts of the western coastal plain? One is Konkan coast, second one Kannada coast, third one Malabar coast. In the same way, eastern coastal plain also divided into two parts. West coastal plain into three parts, east coastal plain into two parts. First one is the northern Sarkar. Northern Sarkar which lies to the north of the river Krishna. The north of the river Krishna, that part is called Northern Sarkar, and second one is the southern part is called the Coromandel coast. East coastal plain divided into two parts. The southern part is called Coromandel coast, northern part of the east coastal plain is called Northern Sarkar. West coastal plain divided into three parts. From south, Malabar coast, Kannada coast, Konkan coast. East coastal plain divided into two parts, Coromandel coast, Northern Sarkars. So these are the divisions of the east coastal plain and also west coastal plain. Clear? Yes, you can look into this map. Easily you can understand this coast is called Konkan coast, this one Kannada coast, this is Malabar coast. Very good. This side, if you come to the east coastal plain, this is very good Coromandel coast, this one is Northern Sarkars. So some lagoons are formed in this coastal plain. Lagoons means nothing but backwaters. So they form like structures. So examples of these lagoons are Lake Chilika and Lake Pulicat and Lake Koleru. These are the some examples of lagoons which are formed by this coastal plains. So examples Lake Chilika, Lake Pulicat and Lake Koleru, which are formed because of this coastal plain. So now importance of the coastal plains. What are the importance of these coastal plains? Coastal plains, two types are there, eastern coastal plain and western coastal plain. It starts from Rann of Kutch to and river Ganga delta. So in that it is divided into two parts, west coastal plain, east coastal plain. West coastal plain divided into three parts, east coastal plain divided into two parts. So what are the importance of these coastal plains? In generally two coastal plains, western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. What are the importance of these coastal plains? So first one is they provide natural harbors. What do you mean by harbor? Is nothing but where the ship will be loaded and unloading will take place. Ships will be loading and unloading. The ships are loaded and unloaded, will be unloaded in that place. So loading and unloading of the ship will be taken place in the harbor. So it creates natural harbors, so many natural harbors on this coast, east coast and also west coast, many natural harbors. Otherwise they have to create artificial harbors where the ship can stop and loading and unloading will take place. It's very difficult. So, because of this east coastal plain and west coastal plains of ours, they created naturally many harbors. And next is foreign trade. All of you know, in history you studied that the Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India. In which year he discovered sea route to India? In the year 1498. Vasco da Gama reached India and he was welcomed by the king Zamorin. And he went back. He stayed few months and went back. He carried some of the spicy items, spices, cardamom, pepper, clove, ilachi, ginger and many others he carried and sold in the European markets. The profit he got was 3 times the amount he spent for his voyage. So, such was the profitable trade it was. So, like that foreign trade, because of this coastal plain, it encourages or it is advantage for our India or our country to have foreign trade with other countries or other continents. And fishing and agriculture. Fishing and agriculture is the primary activity. In activity, 3 types of activities are there. Which are those activities? Occupation structures. In the occupation structures, 3 structures are there. 3 varieties of occupations: primary occupation, secondary occupation and tertiary occupations. So, fishing and agriculture comes under the primary occupation, direct obtained from the nature. Secondary means from these products producing another product, that is for example clothes made up of cotton. Cotton directly obtained from the nature, that is primary activity. From cotton preparing clothes is secondary activity. And third one is tertiary activity, supporting means transport, communication. These are the occupational structures. In that fishing and agriculture is the major activity in the primary activity. So, these primary activities are mainly encouraged and supported by these coastal plains. Production of salt. So, without salt we cannot eat food. So, that salt is produced by these coastal plains or river, oceans. And next is shipbuilding. Shipbuilding industry is also encouraged by the coast, east coast and west coast, because of the east coast and west coast, and useful for navigation. So, transport, navigation, we can travel one place to another place, we can travel, we can have trade, we can travel one place to another place by using this coastal plains. And also it attracts tourists. The beaches, so many beaches, many beaches you know, both the sides, eastern side and also western sides. Many beaches, many travelers, many foreigners, many people will go and enjoy the scenic beauty or beauty of the beaches. So, like this it attracts the tourists. These are all the importance of the coastal plains. Now, the next part, islands. So, there are about 247 islands in India. The group of islands, archipelago. Archipelago means nothing but group of islands. In Japan, Japan is an archipelago. It is a group of islands. 4 major islands are there in Japan. In that, so many islands are there. Here we have in India 247 islands in India. So, out of this 247, 204 are in Bay of Bengal and 43 in Arabian Sea. 43 in Arabian Sea and 204 in Bay of Bengal. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located in Bay of Bengal, and the Lakshadweep Islands are in the Arabian Sea and are formed by the corals, coral polyps it is called. So, these Lakshadweep Islands are formed by the coral polyps. So, there are 247 islands, out of that 204 in Bay of Bengal, 43 islands in Arabian Sea. Andaman Nicobar Islands are in Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea. So, you can look at this picture. So, islands Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea and Andaman Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. See, group of islands. So, in Lakshadweep you can say 43 islands, 204 islands in the Andaman Nicobar Islands in Bay of Bengal. In Bay of Bengal we can say 204, in Arabian Sea 43 islands, total 247 islands are there in India. So, Andaman Nicobar in Bay of Bengal, Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea. So, some of the important islands are marked here. Yes. Now, after understanding all these, that is coastal plains, east coastal plain, west coastal plain and island groups. Now, I would like to give you some questions. So, what are the importance of coastal plain? Second one is, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are in dash, means where are they located, and the Lakshadweep Islands are in dash. So, these are the questions. Think well and answer. So, by this we are concluding and we have completed the physiographic divisions of India. So, we shall meet in the next class with next chapter. Sai Ram.